Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Sweet. All right. So, sorry about that funky YouTube stuff, but yeah, let's get the show on the road. Sorry about that funky YouTube stuff, but yeah, let's get the show on the road. All right, there she is. The click a couple more buttons here. All right. Couple more buttons here. All right, so let's get started. First of all, anybody have any questions or comments? Let's get started. Wondering how I did certain things, why I chose certain things, anything like that? Comments? Wondering how I did certain things, why I chose certain things, anything like that? I will say that I'm new at streaming, so bear with me. This is also, it might be a little bit laggy because my computer's having to do a lot to render this and then stream it and do all that fun stuff. So just bear with me. And if it looks a little laggy, it's actually the program. It's probably not the stream. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, so this is the exterior I chose to do. It's kind of a combination of like the existing Carrack, but also some stylistic choices, so it looks somewhat like Star Wars-esque and yeah, just other sci-fi content as well. But I feel like it turned out pretty good. I'm really excited about yeah, just the overall look. Like, it just looks awesome. You hear an echo. I don't know why you would hear an echo. Yeah, I do know why. I have the stream live in the background. Whoops, my bad. See, I told you guys I'm new. Yeah, okay. Well, now that's fixed. Yes, this is Blender. Um, all right. So, yeah, the some of the things that I decided to add are some uh remote turrets, like uh I'm trying to answer questions and stuff here too. Let's see. Yeah, so the turret on the front on the bottom is new. I so on the Carrack in the game is has a manned turret on the bottom here. But I thought it would be a lot more efficient to have three remote turrets. So two on the bottom, one on the top, and then your two man turrets on either side. So you kind of get pretty decent coverage. Yeah, this is my yeah. This is just artwork basically. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Carrack, and I wanted to see the whole Carrack, in a full model. And well, I can model, so I thought, why not just make it? And yeah, so this is kind of my version, things that I would want. And I've kind of used it as suggestions for for the actual Carrack for CIG and whatnot. And yeah, I'm very excited. So that being said, I feel like the exterior is pretty self-explanatory. I love these engines. The I, with the newer version of Blender, you're able to do some pretty cool lighting effects and um, get some really interesting like lens flares and um, different effects, and I can actually put a textured like whole background, but I don't think that I could stream that and run this because it's got a lot of lights and a lot of extra things going on. I don't know if my computer could do all that. It does have a kitchen. It has a full interior. And speaking of which, you wanna check that out? So this is the bridge. There's kind of a first-person camera mode. We'll see if this works. Might be a little jumpy, but this is the top part of the bridge. Great views. I did decide to go with just the hollow table, not the sphere. And it was one of those elements that I don't mind the sphere, but I also already had the table, and I like the table, so I kept it. Oh, okay, there it goes. Comes back. These were all modeled, by hand by me. I like these stations with the little switches and buttons and textures. I really like these anvil chairs. I made these a little while ago for some other videos, and I just reused them, but they turned out pretty good. So you have 2 stations on either side. If you go to the back here, you got a utility cupboard and an elevator that goes down. And this kind of stuff we've seen in for Citizencon, but just to show you my variation on it, we got computers, more utility cabinets, and the main bridge seats. And each one is slightly different. Like this one's got the throttle, the joystick, and main computer, or I guess display interface, and then these just are armrests. So working with Blender is in some ways is better or worse. The main commercial software that I've worked with is like AutoCAD and more engineering things, and in order to make something you have to put in actual measurements for everything. So to make something like this, it would take substantially longer, and you can't just eyeball it, where in Blender you can just kind of go for it and make it. Answering another question, I am not a dev. I'm just a fan, and I've been building 3D models for several years now, and like I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to see the Carrack, so I built one. So, I'm trying to multitask and show you guys the rest of the ship. So somebody was saying they wanted to see the kitchen. So you go down this hallway from the bridge, and you get to look at it through the window and go through this door. I did not put any hidey holes. I have been considering it though, because I did in the in my original Carrack build. I put like ventilation systems and stuff like that. But this is the kitchen, or the galley. Yes, this is in Eevee, so everything is being rendered in Blender's Eevee render engine, basically. I don't know what all of these shapes are like for. I'm assuming like silverware, that kind of thing, but just basically copied what they have, put some jars of stuff underneath, and added some books to make it look lived in, added a microwave, and some dishes. Really, like, looks like a comfy place to hang out. Yeah, so there were a couple of places on the ship that I did not know what they were up until very recently, and I'll show you in the model. There's the room actually right above this was I thought might have been the an additional computer room or server room, and it turns out it's the mechanic room. So I got that one wrong, but I did find space to put the mechanic room, so I can we can go look at some other stuff here. And yeah, so let's look across the hallway here. And we got the pool table. I did not do the hexagonal or the diagonal pool table. I just did a regular one. And this is kind of a nice little space. You know, you got your window here, some books. And you go through here and get the bunk room. I did have some comments asking about if I could do like individual crew cabins. And honestly, in this space, this is the most efficient use of the space. I tried messing around with a couple of different things, but I could not get any more than this to fit. And this did seem like the better way to go. So you got two large, you know, or like, I guess these pillar bed compartments in here, and then one in the side with a little sofa, you know, displays up top. Yeah. And then if you go through this room, or through this door into this room, these are the showers. Looking at the artwork, they do have the showers and the toilets grouped together. So these are two showers, and then you got the sink. And if you go back through here and back through the room with the pool table, you hit the other crew bathroom. So if we go up through here, we'll go check out the captain's quarters. How about that? Going through this door here. So, you know, the kind of captain's office. I really, like, in the artwork, this whole wall was just empty, and I thought that it would look so much nicer if it was kind of like a, you know, live you know, display panel. And they said that a lot of the inspiration for this was from the Prometheus ship. And in that ship they had these panels all over the place, so I thought, why not? Let's try it, let's see how it looks. And I loved it, so I'm keeping it. Yeah, I got little bits and pieces laying around here. Like, this was a prop that I made. Oh, it's lagging. Okay. A little while back, but it fit, so I put that in there. If you go around the corner, got captain's bed, and I just put a shelf up here because you got a utility cabinet, just a closet, and another kind of locker closet. And then through here you've got the captain's bathroom. And just for anyone that's wondering, it's like all of this is, you know, inside of the ship. Like, this is the outer, this is what it looks like phased through the walls, but everything is squeezed in here. So let's go this way. So let's stick on this level, and I will show you the medical room. Oh, it's the exact same size. You could probably fit a larger bed in the captain's quarters, but yeah, I guess that'd be up to you. You can do whatever you want in your Carrack. So this hallway just goes around the medical bay. There are these windows looking into the medical room, and kind of swing through here, go through the main door. Voila. Now, I think the actual Carrack only has 2 of these beds, but some of the original artwork had 4. So I put 4 in, and I had space for 4, and so yeah. This one, I tried some different texture stuff on it to see what I could do. So that's why it looks different. Got the main scanning bed with all of its lights and movable tray. Yeah, no privacy in the medical bay. I did think that was a little funky because it's in the official artwork, but yeah, there is no privacy. These side rooms, I didn't actually put anything really in these, because it wasn't until recently that we had some more information on what these actually were. Probes, yeah. So from here, we will go. Let's go up a floor. We'll just fly through the elevator here. So to the right here, you got the drone bay. So for the medical rooms downstairs, there's one of the rooms was supposed to be like a CT scan control room, and then the other one was a storage room. But there's only some very basic concept art for both of those. So I would basically use them for storage in this particular one. But and then we have the drones. And in the concept art, it's got these little deals that they're supposed to like fit into, and it's kind of like a small airlock, and it feeds to the outside of the ship. But in all of the artwork I could find, I could not find any like cavity or lines or anything that would indicate where this actually comes out of. So I have no idea how this is supposed to work, but I'm sure that there's something that I'm missing, but I was not able to find anything. The other thing that I did not see until recently is that there's only one door, and I put 2 in here. So, yeah. Oh, and up through here you got escape pods for all the bridge crew. And through here is my server room. Now this, I found out recently, is actually the repair and kind of engineering room, which I thought was kind of odd because the artwork, it wouldn't fit here, but that's what they said on the latest one, that's what this room is. So we shall see. And then this is the Pisces hangar. Oh, it's lagging. Okay, it's back. You got the hangar doors above, and actually, let's gonna escape out of here. Or not. It's very laggy. I'm gonna open these up. All right. Just kind of fly through here. And boom, we got the hangar. I do love all these hallways and the windows into the hangar. So it can be open to space, and you can watch ships, take off and land, or I guess one ship, because I don't. There might be, maybe like the Pisces and the Merlin, something really tiny. It's gonna be able to fit in there, but that's it. So if we continue back, this is a central elevator that goes well, can't see it through there, but it goes through the whole ship, and it goes all the way up. So yeah, let's just go up. Take a look in here. So in here you got 2 doors on the other side. Both of these are mirrored, and all it is just kind of like a locker room and weapons racks for this EVA room. And all this is just kind of an airlock that goes out onto the top deck of the ship. And going back through here. And then this is that like astrometrics room, or just your overall map room. And this is more in line with the original artwork, and the more recent stuff that we've seen. It's a little bare, so I hope either they add more, or it's bare because that central mapping space can expand throughout the whole room, because that would be awesome. Yes, cartography, that one too. But yeah, I added some planets and moons and just different fun stuff in here. So from here, let's go downstairs. So if you go down here into the hangar bay, now you can go either side here, through here. You've got the turret arms, and go down the hallway, and boom, inside the turrets. Oh, phasing through the turrets. Yeah, I mean, so for the Star Citizen art that I've seen for the turrets, I love the turrets. Like, they did a stellar job with those. Yeah, like I did a decent job, but they went above and beyond. Like, those are really cool. I did add some different types of weapons on mine. Mine are more of like a Gatling gun. So I don't know if that means mine has a little more firepower because it's got an extra turret and some Gatling guns, but just saying. So let's go back up through here, back into the hallway, and if you take a right through here, you got the gravity core. And I also made this core a while ago. I needed some like in-lore engineering manuals with this guy. I do not have any tutorials, and a lot of people have been asking me about that, so I think I might make a couple. What I don't know is if I'm gonna try and make them like spaceship themed because it's a little more complicated to, to build an entire ship versus, this is how you make a chair, or, more simple applications. So I will be doing something. I just don't know what that's going to look like yet. So yeah, coming through this door, you have the engine room, and these were pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, these are pretty basic. I feel like they're just kind of reactors. I didn't put anything back here because it looked like in the Citizencon demo it was just kind of shelves and whatnot. So I decided I would skip that. But there is kind of like this lower deck if you take the elevator down. And I think this is more just kind of access, like you can access the underside. I did not put the elevator, or not the ladder, because I had the elevator, and I found it like, I guess like if power's out or something like that. But if that's the case, the rest of the ship, like on the bridge or all of the other elevators, it only has elevators. So why have a ladder in the engineering as well? So I do know that like I've talked to some of the devs and stuff, and I've been on some of their shows. Yeah. So like, talking about like a power failure, but the rest of the ship only has elevators. So I guess it would make sense if if you're in engineering and you have a power failure to have a ladder. But I can always add that too. That's the beauty of my ship. I can do whatever I want with it. So let's see if we go back up towards the front. Oh, you know what? We can, let's go up front. So now this elevator actually goes all the way down. So it goes past here, all the way down. And this is the where you have the rover bay, and it's kind of docking collar, which also has some like EVA suit lockers and gun racks and whatnot. So just a little side room. I can't make it explode. That would be cool, but yeah, I don't have that ability right now. Blender's not that powerful. I could probably make my computer explode by asking it to do a bunch of things, but that kind of defeat the purpose of a live stream. So this is the rover bay. Pretty straightforward. I mean, this is basically exactly the same layout as the some of the other like anvil ships. Like a lot of these, it's anvil stuff, so the shapes kind of just replicate. But yeah, and then we go through here, through this door, and you've got the cargo pods. Now, I think the official ones are smaller than these, because these are like like 3 decks high. These are gigantic. So, I mean, like the amount of cargo you could put in here, just the sheer amount of space is pretty amazing. And then both sides, these kind of clamshell open, and this entire thing can be completely opened up. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to, have jail cells or, because, if you look at like each door has its own panel, like you can, quarantine people in different areas of the ship. But, and then, yeah, there's just 3 of these copied. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions, or I think that's the whole ship. I don't think that I'm missing anything. I hope that I'm not missing anything. Oh. Wait, let's like escape out of that. Blender did not like that. Somebody was asking how I was walking around. So, in Blender, if you just hold Shift tilde, it gives you these crosshairs, and you can kind of use the camera. And in fact, if you go all the way in, and then you can hit tab, and you see how it like dropped a little bit. It's actually like a game mode, so I can actually walk on surfaces, and see how it kind of bounces a little bit. And like if I walk up the wall, it starts glitching out and push me through things. But yeah, you can actually walk around in Blender. Okay, so let's see. Try to go through all these questions. So like the space in between like the actual interior spaces and the outer hall, like it's pretty tight, but there's definitely some big gaps. If you can kind of see that, and then there's other things like it's basically touching. And then somebody's saying I don't think I actually looked up close to these turrets, but these were also turrets that I made in a previous build, or I kind of modified them and changed it up for this. But yeah, I feel like these are a lot more powerful than the ones that they have on the actual Star Citizen one. But I mean, this is the Carrack. Like, you gotta have good guns on it. Design 7 of 9. Can I open the cargo? Yeah. Well, I'll see if I can open the cargo. Because there's a lot going on, and if I hit this button, you'll see why. Because there's lines going everywhere. All of these are lights, and yeah. So no, so every single thing on here that you see, I modeled by hand, like myself. Um, so I really I don't know if this. I didn't actually keyframe this up, but yeah, I mean I can make them open up, but it's gonna take me a minute, and I don't want to crash this in the middle of the stream. But yeah, we're gonna. So when I started doing stuff, Blender was not liking it with all of this loaded simultaneously. Something cool I can show though is I can hide this. So that's what everything looks like without the outer hull. Let's see. Other questions. Okay, so I got. What do you think about the removal of the frontal antennas? I honestly feel like it was a good call because they moved them to the rear wings back here because you know on the front you do want it as open as possible just for view, and I feel like these back here actually add a little bit more like balance to it. Even though they're very thin, it adds a little bit more. Now that I'm done, what would I do next? So I'm still gonna do some Star Citizen stuff, some other types of content, but I'm contemplating doing some other like sci-fi ships, and I was thinking about modeling the Rosinante from The Expanse and doing a full interior, full exterior, something like that. So if that's something you guys would like to see, let me know. The Carrack has not been released. We should see some more stuff today about it, so that's cool. How do you enter and leave the Carrack? So the front, this door actually opens up, and then you have this central elevator. So this is a door, and that actually drops. So those are 2 points of entry, and then you also have doors up on top here, and you can land the Pisces inside. Is there any unused space? Yes, there is. So if I hide that, there's a lot of space right around kind of the wings that is not used, because these are really chunky, and there's not a lot of space in there. And I don't know if that's for supposed to be like fuel tanks or something along those lines, which would be a good use for it. And then the underside here, because this is the actual outer hull, and it actually drops all the way down. Like there's not really anything back here. And I stated this earlier. I don't work for CIG. I like modeling stuff. How much time did it take me? So I've been working on this for really since October of last year. So it's been about 4 months total. My model actually does not have landing gear. That's one of the things I did not add into it. Just because I wasn't planning on doing any scenes of it landing. So I could add landing gear, but mine does not. The landing gear tucks up underneath here, and then these outer wings rotate. But I did not actually add like the pistons and the feet and whatnot. Yeah, so the rear elevator does open to the ground outside, and then like I stated, I don't have the whole articulation of the wings and stuff. I mean, I can go through and animate everything, but mainly just modeled everything out. There's a couple of things that have some animations, like the doors will open and close, but really that's just for camera shots. I mean, there was a couple of things I kind of advised with. I made a post on Spectrum, right after Citizencon, about the Carrack, and there was just a couple of little things that they could do to kind of make it feel a little more streamlined, and I kind of laid that all out in that post. How fast? We're gonna say 12.4 parsecs. That's how fast. Is there anything else like you guys want to see, or want me to go back to, anything like that? I will say I am going to I will add the outer hull on Sketchfab. So if you want to like download it, print it, do anything like that, go for it. I'm not sure about the interior because it's a lot of polygons, so I don't know how. I don't know. I'll figure out something for that. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that, and that should be up here relatively soon. Not immediately, but soon, because I have to do a couple of things to get it up online. Captain's room, please. Canopy shields. I did not put the canopy shields in. They that's one of those things that I barely have like any space for it. Like, there's kind of a slot. And I could put it in, but it would also kind of detract from the overall space. But in game, that's useful for sure. We'll leave you with a good view while I'm reading all these comments. So the storage containers on mine are 3 decks high, and basically the 2/3 the width of the ship, so they're pretty large. Do the Genesis Starliner. I've got a lot of requests for that. I know I also did the Banner Marchman a little while ago. I did some things with that, so I might look at a couple of different things here, but I probably will not do. I guess will I do the new version for comparison? Are you asking like the new Carrack for comparison? Because probably won't do that. I have it's an AMD Threadripper for my GPU. It's a GTX 1070. And yes, I do own a Carrack. Because I mean, why wouldn't you? Especially if I'm going through all this. I want to see that thing. How many Merlins fit in the hangar? Well, it depends on how creative you are, because you could probably stack those things. A couple upside down, right side up. And in fact, to answer that question, I have a little book over here. I'll just leave it on that for you. I don't know if the M50 would fit. It might be a little too long. Like height-wise, it should fit, but I think they what do they? I don't remember what they classified the Carrack is, because it's not a capital ship. I'm spacing what they classified it, but it's in between, like, yeah, it might be a Corvette. I think it might be a Corvette. But yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, like a Corvette or a frigate, somewhere along those lines. But all right. I know, it's a good one. It's real page turner for sure. So I don't think the arrow will fit, because I got an arrow to put in there as well, and it is too tall. It will not fit. It like the dimensions for the overall ship would fit, but the doors wouldn't close. So that's a negatory. Well, I think that's all I got for you guys. I will be doing like a cinematic video, just kind of going through the whole ship and the exterior with fancy stuff, lighting, fog, strobe effects, and alien creatures and whatnot. Okay, maybe that's a little too much, but something cool. And yeah, and then go from there. But I do hope that everyone enjoyed, and this was really fun, and I'm glad everything worked. I'm very excited about that. Let's see. Yes, and Inside Star Citizen should be out today too, so we'll get to see more and compare some notes and go from there. But yeah, like I said, I hope everybody enjoyed this. You know, if you want to see more videos, check out my YouTube channel. Any like suggestions and stuff, like on, you know, what kind of stuff you would like to see, if you want to see tutorials, you know, anything like that, just, you know, throw it in the comment section. I do read everything, so yeah, it was fun. Thanks everybody for showing up. This was awesome. Thanks for, you know, being patient for my first stream ever. You know, hopefully this worked out. But yeah, I think with that, I will yeah, see everyone later. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be around in the community for sure.